What's up, everyone? My name is Reagan Kathryn, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about cosplay. In honor of Humble Bundle's return of the Cosplay book bundle, I have decided to make a full cosplay, and I'm going to be showing you guys all how I made it and which books I used so that you can recreate it and make your very own costume. For this cosplay, I have decided to make Hae-In from Solo Leveling because she has so many different parts to her. She has wig styling and patterning and sewing and foam and armor and man, so much more. So I figured it would be a really great costume to kind of show off all of the different amazing books that are in this bundle. So without further ado, let's get started. First up is sewing. I made a mock-up of her jacket and had my friend Ashlynday help me draw all of the different marks on it and fit it so that the finished pattern would be perfect. You can use the complete photo guide to the perfect fitting to show you step-by-step instructions on how to do this as well. After I got the pattern how I wanted it, I transferred it to paper. Then I cut it out of my nice expensive fabric, then sewed it all together. Make sure to always sew with fabric right sides together. I used a 3/4 seam allowance and a straight stretch stitch since all of my fabric is 4-way stretch. For extra tips, you can use the book First Time Sewing in the bundle. I wanted the bodice to have some extra support and not to roll up, so I added boning into the seam allowance. I also wanted the patterns on her front to be sewn directly on, so I used Wonder Under, drew the pattern on, cut it out, and then transferred it to the garment with heat. After, I top stitched it so that it would never move. After everything was topped on, I sewed the outer and inner layers together and flipped it so that it was right side out. Then I just put the zipper and collar in, and then the jacket was done. I moved on to the skirt and pants next. I always hate fitting pants, but the book Making Trousers for Men and Women really helped me out. Remember to use a straight stretch stitch here if you're using 4-way stretch fabric so that your pants will still have some give. The next major part of Hae-In is her armor. She has so much. Hands, pauldrons, elbows, fingers, shoulders, knees, and shoes. Foam can be a little intimidating to pattern, but I always start by wrapping myself in saran wrap and then taping it up. This was much easier for me because I had my friend Linux Knight to help me out. After you're all taped up, you can draw the pattern that you want onto the tape so that you can cut it out and transfer it to foam. If you would like to skip this step, the bundle offers a ton of different pattern books like Arm Armor and Leg Armor Pattern Collection by Kamui Cosplay. After you have everything patterned, you can start gluing it together. I use contact cement, and my best tip is to put it on both sides of whatever you're gluing together and wait for a few minutes. It will stick together immediately and then literally never come unglued. The bundle also has a book titled A Robot's Guide to Bondo by Solo Roboto Industries to help you out with more tips. They also have another book in the bundle about sanding that I suggest for the next step. After you glue everything together, it's time to sand it pretty. I use my rotary tool first to get the edges smooth, then I use wood filler or spray filler primer to fill out some of the divots. Let it dry, then sand for a million years. A million times. Really, just spend half of your time sanding. Once you have finished sanding, it's time for my favorite part, painting. For foam, you want to heat it first with a heat gun, then use a primer. I like to use Plastidip. Then you can paint your base coat and then go in with the small and pretty detail paints by hand. I used elastic for all of my attachments. I just sew the pieces onto foam and then glue it to the backs of the armor. Super easy. The last thing to do was the wig. I got a really long one and cut it. I used some tips from Calbutt Crunchy's Art of Extreme Wig Styling to help me get the long wig even. After the wig was done, it was time to put everything on and take photos. Here is the finished result. guys liked this video on cosplay. There are so many amazing books in this bundle for new cosplayers and advanced cosplayers alike. So make sure you go get the bundle and get cosplaying. Let me know which costume you're going to make first in the comments.